Thanks for joining me today because I want to speak to you about something of the utmost importance. I called this version of ATM News "The Balance is Broken: Yin, Yang, and the Rise of Tyranny." Look, it's no insult to the feminine to say this plainly: Yin has overtaken Yang. What was once a dance of order and chaos, light and shadow, is now a toppling of balance, a slow, quiet, civilizational collapse dressed in the language of care. The team human worldview does not reject women, nor softness, nor the instinct to nurture. It simply says, without structure, without masculine restraint, without the shield, everything burns, and things are burning. Let's talk about the poetry of tension. Men and women have always banded together to take advantage of each other's strengths and to shore up each other's weaknesses. During an evolution absent most comforts of modern life, and which we now take mostly for granted, that collaboration brought us this far. In ancient Chinese thought, yin and yang represented the two great forces at work in all things, opposites that were not enemies. Feminine and masculine, dark and light, passive and active. This is how human life unfolds, not in homogenized grayness, but in tension. To be human is to live suspended between these two poles. Yin nurtures, bonds, empathizes, receives. Yang protects, defines, acts, and endures. Every man and woman bear both forces, but not in equal measures. Women lean towards chaos because they bring life out of it. Men lean towards order because they must make the world safe for life to grow. She is the burdened female, precious creator of life. He is the expendable male, powerful defender of life. With overlap, these two complementary forces make up Team Human. Now, what happens when one force overreaches? The state of the world gives us the answer, doesn't it? The feminine instinct towards equality, when disconnected from hierarchy, becomes tyranny in the name of care. Women now dominate the bureaucratic apparatus. HR departments, social work, education, healthcare, media, even politics, and increasingly the military. All of it now swells with yin energy, suspicion of boundaries, fear of exclusion, endless emotional validation. The U.S. Women's Lawyer Association once declared that its greatest legal victory was no-fault divorce. And why not? It allowed women to leave marriage without cause, receive almost automatic custody of children, and still be financially supported through court-ordered, court-enforced spousal and child support. The system had no choice but to expand the bureaucratic system. No-fault divorce necessitated the welfare state, the child services regime, and the family court system, all of which feed the state and extract from men. Who did they go after first? Well, they went after black men in America, millions imprisoned under drug laws and child support penalties. Even today, on the child support issue alone, 50,000 men go to jail daily for this. And blacks make up a third to a half of those numbers. Generations of boys have now been raised without fathers. That's not okay. Communities were destroyed by policy, not culture. The targeting didn't stop there. Next came poor white men, then all white men, in particular those who still remembered what it meant to be, to lead, to build, to defend, and to question the system. You've seen it in your lifetime. I know you have. The weaponization of empathy. As Susan Pinker noted in her 2009 book, Sexual Paradox, women do not fight with fists. No, that's how we men keep each other in line. Instead, women tend to compete through social exclusion, mean remarks, and manipulation of group consensus. They win over your friends and allies. I often explain to men how abuse of empathy is a woman's birthright. I'm not excusing the low blows that usually come from arguing with a woman, but I am saying it's part of her nature. That tactic has now been deployed at scale. Maybe these sound familiar. Deadbeat dad, wife batterer, misogynist, toxic masculinity, all men are predators, silence is violence, me too, believe the victim, patriarchy, the male gaze, emotional labor, mansplaining, gaslighting, heteronormativity, white privilege, implicit bias, colonizers, transphobe, homophobe, science denier. These terms do not invite dialogue. Let's face it, they're ideological kill switches designed to shut men up. That's what they're there for. Designed to remove the masculine force of boundary, of truth, and especially of resistance. Include in that the claim that any man who appreciates a woman's beauty must see her only as an object of sexual desire and seeks to make her his domestic servant. Get the fuck out of here. This they call sexual harassment and patriarchal misogyny. These tired tropes are still being insidiously taught in Western universities to this day. Has anybody stopped them? Why not? Consider what they really represent is a cumulative threat to freedom. Don't even get me started on the search for meaning in all this. It's there, elusive, and we have a journey ahead. But can you imagine it? Believe it. The bureaucratic beast and the final thought war. This feminized culture is not grassroots, it's managed. Sam Francis called it Leviathan, a modern bureaucratic state run by a managerial elite using government, media, and corporate power to dissolve local traditions, religious authority, cultural heritage, and family identity. Their aim's not governance, it's cultural engineering. Alex Tanava, courageous 2025 book now in review, The Final Thought War, captures the mechanism clearly. He names the misinformation industrial complex and outlines its four-step strategy. Number one, declare an emergency. Number two, expand government power beyond constitutional limits. Number three, suppress dissent in the name of safety. Four, normalize extraordinary measures as permanent policy. This is the mode practiced and tested through public events. The war on terror enabled surveillance. COVID enabled censorship. Climate change will enable control over energy and behavior. It comes down to manufacture a crisis, manufacture consensus, eliminate opposition before resistance mobilizes. AI has now been enlisted in the algorithms to spread cancer culture far and wide. It's an abdication of local masculine responsibility. So when rank and file males have not been taught by their culture how to be men, they disqualify themselves as powerful defenders of life and revert to simple expendability. It is then that males of sufficient ego strength, able to withstand the chaos of unchecked feminine negative emotion, who tend to rise as masculine leaders. Typically derived from the 10% of males who are personality disordered, their aims are rarely pro-social. These dark tetradians, aided by hybristophilic followers, act to undermine Team Human out of self-interest and for personal gain. As men were left confused by abandoned leadership, these elites filled the vacuum. Abstract systems now override tribal loyalties. Human rights, rule of law, international tribunals. What sounds noble is often just the outsourcing of masculine duty. These global frameworks bypass the local man, the father, the taxpayer, the defender, and even the culture itself, as the judicial and political apparatuses are compromised. They consolidate power far above where any man can touch it. The result is emasculation through globalist abstraction. It's not pretty, man. Let's ask what's left to reclaim. Perhaps we should have kept retail closed on Sundays. Not because the market overruled it, but because the sacred demanded it. That loss of rhythm, of restraint, of piety, and of reverence is not minor. It's a symptom of the Yang retreat. We are now ruled by a regime of emotion, relativism, where truth is cultural, and disembodied law. The only resistance is a man, rooted in his body, bound to his brothers, led by a higher order, a man who says no reclaiming the anima, reframing Mother Nature. Carl Jung understood that every man carries an anima as his internal image of the feminine. It progresses from primal maternal influence to beauty, to virtue, and finally to wisdom and integration. In modern men, that image has been colonized by pornography, by ideology, by consumerism, and it's time to restore her. Not the soft chaos of the institutional yin, but the wild, fertile mystery of Mother Nature, just as Team Human understands her. She does not hand out safe spaces. She makes men from blood and pain. And she sends her daughters to be protected, not worshipped. When men realign their inner feminine with truth instead of ideology, they become whole. And when whole men band together, weak systems cannot govern them. Team Human, the order rising. We are not here to destroy the feminine. Let's make that clear. We are here to contain its excess, protect its essence, and restore the ancient tension which made us complementary. Yin is not the enemy, but yin unopposed becomes Leviathan. That's the facts. The balance will not be legislated back. It must be fought for, man by man, bond by bond, shield by shield. That is what Team Human stands for. That is what the Defender Shield carries. A return to order, a reverence for life, a refusal to be ruled by chaos. The balance is broken, but it can be restored. It's going to take a while. Men use their large group bias to build cultures. Women stress test cultures on everyone's behalf. Men stand shoulder to shoulder and use power and love in defense of meaning and freedom. And only us men can rebalance the system by saying no to its insanity. Therefore, it falls to you and to me. Send this to someone who needs to understand these things, for our sons are depending on us. Join the Defender boards and help recruit others into a movement for change. We have much work to do, my brother, and we can do anything we set our minds to do. Stay powerful, true, and free.